I'm Alex Go. I'm a data scientist within Properties, Facilities and Development. So I use data to solve problems, gain some insight, and identify trends and patterns. We capture an average of 24 gigabytes a day. So as of last week, it was 5 terabytes and counting. Imagine an Excel spreadsheet with 29 columns and at least 6 billion rows. All data is processed in the cloud. I write my own scripts, usually Python and SQL, to clean the data. It is the process of detecting, correcting, and removing inaccurate data, also known as data cleaning, and it can be time-consuming. In fact, most of my time is spent on data cleaning and removing data. Most field in the data is not needed, so one of the cleaning process is to remove duplicates or unusable data. So my script actually removes some of the columns and also duplicates. Once the data is clean, I often present the finding visually so that I can see the pattern. So I use statistics to support my findings and sometimes machine learning to do some kind of prediction. And at the end of the day, I usually tell a story or communicate the finding effectively to the stakeholders. Traditionally, we use manual clickless to count number of people. Using the Wi-Fi data, we can count the number of people easily. Here's an animated heat map of Curtin Open Day 2017 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. At the bottom right corner, we can see the color of the heat map. The darker the color, the more people it is in that particular area. Especially if you look at library, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of visitors in that area, and it might link to a free food event, for example.
And my name is Cara. I'm a data scientist at Curtin University. The aim of data science is to extract useful information from data. Data science is a booming industry because we have more data now than we ever have before, and that allows us to extract insights that previously weren't possible. An organisation could use the Wi-Fi data to analyse how rooms are being utilised and which areas are in high demand and which areas are being left empty. They can adjust services as appropriate. For example, cleaners and garbage collectors could be scheduled more or less often. Shopping centres, government and airports, for example, use this sort of data to identify where large groups of people tend to congregate and what areas are less utilised. One potential use case for this data is Curtin's Open Day. So every year we have a big event for potential students to come onto campus and learn about the potential courses that they could take. The number of devices can be displayed using a heat map, and that allows you to see which areas are less or more heavily utilised or have larger levels of traffic. This can help inform the layout of stalls and improve the experience of prospective students by making sure that the information they need is easy to find. It's important for us to de-identify the data to protect the privacy of the people who own these devices. Every single time a device probes looking for Wi-Fi, it creates another record, and that happens, it varies with different device types, but that happens like every few minutes for every device, and whenever this signal is being sent out and detected by multiple different Wi-Fi access points, then they can triangulate the signal. We found that there are a lot of challenges involved in this. As with all data science projects, the cleaning and processing of the data is a major part of the problem and a large part of the work. And there is a lot of extra information that needs to be filtered out because of too many different types of devices. It's hard to isolate just phones. Nowadays, many things have MAC address randomization, which means you can't isolate a particular device because it might randomly change its ID. So then you might triple count it, or makes it much more difficult to get an accurate number. So there are a few other methods of counting people that are being investigated. You can use infrared sensors or cameras. There's even the possibility of trying to do it through environmental sensors like CO2 sensors. But all of these other options require installing additional infrastructure to do the measurements, whereas the Wi-Fi access points already exist wherever you have Wi-Fi. So because of all the hype about data science and particularly machine learning, there's this misconception that all you need is data, and from that you can magically draw wonderful, useful information. There's a lot of work that's involved in getting to that stage. It takes a lot of time and effort, particularly in cleaning data. But the most important thing is that you need to have good quality data sources to begin with, because garbage in, garbage out, you're never going to get useful information out of rubbish data.